Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in so far. It's been a great marathon stream. We still have one more to go. So let's see how we do it. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I truly hope you're having an excellent, excellent day. Thank you for joining. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, please let me know. Leave some comments, leave some clicks. Let me just get this set up. I hope you guys enjoyed my workout videos. I got behind me. Ooh, I didn't realize this before, but because this is white, it's kind of messing up the background. That's the Canadian flag back there. I look like I'm kind of floating. I got my very comfortable snuggie. I'm going to be doing this stream this late. I'm definitely wearing this comfortable gift. $2 super chats get you text to speech. Let's wait to see who joins. What's going on, Jeremy? Thank you for being here once again. I hope you're doing well, as always. Hope you've been enjoying my very long streams. It's been an absolute blast. We have made it to 3,904 subs, which means I'm less than 100 away from 4,000. Maybe I'll get it in the next couple of days. That would be 97 likes and 97 subscriptions over the next couple days. So help me out. I would very much appreciate it. And thank you so much for being here. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to hear them. I'm going to be producing some more content. Again, this has been a really fun marathon stream. Basically, I've been producing content across multiple channels all day, starting 1 a.m. Staying busy is good, right? You want to make sure that you keep on keeping yourself busy. But I think that's awesome. What are some of the things you're keeping yourself busy with? Come on. Just trying to sort something out here. I'm going to be posting content on my socials as well. Dun, dun, dun. Let's wait to see who joins. Any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral? I feel like this isn't working. My whole idea was to have, but the problem is, actually that works pretty well. I look like I'm floating at the moment. Nice, nice. What are you most looking forward to this year in terms of the garden? Anything particular that you're excited about or excited for? I'll take it. The Hobbit is a very cool creatures. So I will take it happily. Not that I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Thank you. Did you love me enough to hit the like button and the subscribe button? That's a better question. And maybe consider a what's the word I'm looking for? And now I can't see it. Maybe consider a super chat as well. Winter's music. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're getting the notifications. Did you check out the Medium story yet? I'm honestly, my balcony is pretty clean. I used to have a major issue. I used to have a major problem with, it was a pain in the butt with um, the pigeons, but they've gotten a lot better recently, which means my hope, anyways, is maybe it's not going to be quite such a pain, and they'll be good with the plants. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll definitely take pictures of the. I will definitely take pictures of the plants if they start to grow. If they're not growing, then that can be a sign that I must have messed up somehow. So no worries, no rush at all. That's fine. I'm not trying to be attractive, but I am hoping you'll hit the like button and the subscribe button. I'd very much appreciate it. I mean, anybody, if anybody could mess anything up, it would be me. But I mean, well, all we can do is our very best, right? By definition, that's all we can do. So I look forward to trying it, and I'm grateful for you sending them to me. Kelly, I don't know if that's a positive or a negative. Joaquin, forgive me for pronouncing it correctly. You got to get used to people not being nice on stream. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where it just kind of is what it is. Um, hey, we opened an EA lodge tonight as the junior deacon. That's awesome. So you had the EAs present, like you opened on the first degree, is what you're saying. That's very cool. I've always preferred that. I think there are some lodges that will do business on the third. I've always preferred, though, doing business on the first degree. That's always something I've found preferable. I think it welcomes the newer members, makes them feel like they're more part of it. I think that's a really good thing. So I prefer, actually, that's a good poll question. I'm going to make that my poll question. What do you prefer? Opening lodge in the first degree, opening lodge in the third degree. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I'll take it. I think Skyrim characters must be very handsome if you would say that about me. So thank you so much for that. Yes, no to be jealous. That's always good advice. Well, thank you, Silent Traveler. Please hit like and subscribe. And if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to see it. And we're kind of in the midst of a 24-hour stream. I've been doing a bunch of streaming all day today, and it's been going really well. So thank you so much to everybody who's been joining me so far. I really appreciate it. I've been posting content as well, which is going great. On my different socials, leave comments, leave comments, leave super chats. All that stuff helps out big time. You can be saved, dearest Jeremy. I think Jeremy is doing just fine. Should be attending a first degree of new AAs very soon. That's awesome, Courtney. I'm sure the new EAs are very excited, and just your presence will matter a lot, believe me. I think one of the biggest mistakes we make in Freemasonry is we underestimate the value of our presence, which is really unfortunate because believe me, our presence can, to a new entered apprentice joining the lodge, seeing us there, seeing people present, seeing people on the sidelines, it makes a huge difference to the Masonic experience. So good for you. I think that's awesome. Keep up the good work. Is your lodge excited for it? How does it feel to be a pawn of the United States and Israel? I don't think you know what Freemasonry is. Freemasonry is not a pawn of any organization or government. Freemasonry is not a political entity. It is a civic institution. What you're discussing are civil entities, which is a different thing altogether. Civil is governmental and the relationship between the state and the people. Civic is the relationship between the people and one another. Aura Flow says lies. On Stop Beastie, Civic is Honda. I see the joke you made there. Well, thank you for being here. Please take a moment, hit that like button and subscribe button. Let me know any thoughts you have on Freemasonry. My preference, by the way, for the poll question, I prefer if we have lodges opening in the first degree, not the third. I think it makes the degree go by quicker, makes the night go by quicker, makes the business meeting go by quicker, allows for more participation, which is something I'm always going to support. Yes, I got a big head. I've grown to accept it. I hope that you are doing well. Also, I hope you'll take a moment to hit the like button and the subscribe button. I would truly, truly appreciate it. That was my cat running behind me. We're just going to give it a bit more time. Wait to see you join. As always, please take a moment, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, let me know. I talked about a few different things I was really happy to discuss. I talked about Masonic libraries as it is National Library Week. I love libraries. I talked about the ways that Freemasons can support local libraries can support Freemasons, and also specifically Masonic libraries. There's a lot of incredible Masonic libraries throughout the world. I listed 10 of the best ones on my YouTube channel for you guys to check out in one of the descriptions. We talked about the Windsor Spitfires, who have been incredibly supportive of and helpful to my Masonic building. They've donated prizes. The mascots have visited several times. They are going on to the OHL finals, and so I wanted to take a few moments to celebrate that. We talked about, what else did we talk about? We mentioned the increasing cost of inflation, how that's affecting Freemasonry. So we talked about a lot of different things, and I was grateful. Fraternity is just a fancy word for cult. Bale may love me, but I have no idea who Bale is. I never learned about him until I started doing these streams, and all of a sudden people kept telling me I looked like him. We also talked about Leamington Masonic Lodge and its beautiful and incredible carpeting, which I love to show off. So yeah, we had a lot of really cool stuff, and I really enjoyed discussing it. Cully, Freemasonry is not a cult. Fraternities are not cults. Cults seek to isolate and refuse to allow dissension. Freemasonry and fraternities are neither. A cult may pretend to be a cult may pretend to be a fraternity, but that doesn't mean they are. They may even use fraternal language. They even may pretend to be Masonic, but that doesn't mean that they are, right? That's the thing you need to keep in mind and remember. It's easy to pretend, especially unfortunately as things get out and get online. It's easy to pretend to be, um, it's easy to pretend to be Masonic or pretend to be something you're not. That's why we as Freemasons especially need to do our due diligence. And just because someone is claiming to be Masonic, that doesn't mean that they are. And we need to be able to call people out if they're not being Masonic. I have no problem with anybody starting any organization they want. I'm not even going to complain so much if people start to crib from Freemasonry, because Freemasonry cribbed from a lot of things. What I will complain about, though, is if you start to use that to take money from people, try to control people, or to pretend you're something you're not. I agree, it is the foundational degree. Freemasonry is not political, so left and right doesn't really cover it. Now, what I will say, and I've said this in the past, Freemasonry tends to follow whatever the different politics of its area is. So if you have a Masonic Lodge and it's in a town that is primarily right wing, the lodge itself would be primarily right wing. If you are in a Masonic Lodge where the town is left wing, then the lodge itself, the membership will be more left wing. It wouldn't be discussed in lodge, but Freemasonry tends to mirror whatever you see in the communities in which it's located. But I've met right-wing Freemasons, I met left-wing Freemasons. Traditionally, actually, Freemasonry in the 17th and 18th centuries, because Freemasonry is such a kind of democratic institution, it was considered left-wing because a lot of Masons believed very strongly in democratic principles and ruled by democracy, not by kingships or monarchies or dictatorships. So that gave it a very left-wing kind of feel in the eyes of many people, or perception. Then in the 1950s, it became very right-wing perceived because a lot of people viewed it as traditional, and right-wing tends to be viewed more traditional. So it's one of those things where it kind of just depends on where you are situated, like how you viewed it. But that was other people's perceptions of it. That wasn't Freemasonry itself. Well, if the lodge is in Israel, my assumption would be they would support the idea of the state of Israel, but not inherently the actions of the government. But I believe, like I've always said, I'm Canadian first, and I am Canadian first, and then I'm a Freemason. I would expect Israeli Masons to feel the same way. Um, I love being Canadian. I'm grateful to be Canadian. I think we need to be community members first. But it doesn't mean I agree with everything the government does, nor should it mean anyone would agree with everything the government does. So just keep that in mind. I would say you do sometimes see more left-wing Freemasonry in Europe, but then again, I would suggest Europe is more left-wing than, say, the typical American. Richard Wilkins, that's a good way to put it as well. I mean, yeah, Richard, nothing stopped me from leaving Freemasonry anytime I want, and many people do. Many people talk about Freemasonry, many people disparage it. I've disparaged Freemasonry, or not so much Freemasonry, but where I think Freemasonry is messing up and how and why I think it's messing up. So, absolutely, it is one of those cases where, yeah, we need to kind of recognize that there is no control exerted by a Masonic Lodge over its membership. I mean, Freemasonry is not political. I am a supporter of the Liberal Party and Carney. A lot of Freemasons are. A lot of Freemasons are supportive of the Liberal Party. And a lot of Freemasons are supporters of the Conservative Party. A lot of Freemasons are supporters of the NDP. A lot of Freemasons are supporters of Bloc Québécois or the Greens or whatever it might be, right? Freemasonry is not political. In fact, we cannot discuss politics while in lodge. We talked about the value of exercise today. We've had a really great stream talking about a lot of different things as it relates to Freemasonry, and I'm grateful for everybody joining us. I don't know who this Baron Holtz is. Let me see. Also, I wanted to mention that, oh, okay, he was from Blockers. I love Blockers. I love that movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's incredible. One thing I will say as well, and one thing I really enjoyed talking about was the new Star Trek themed lodge located in California, just outside of San Francisco. It's an Affinity Lodge. Affinity lodges are lodges that are developed based on shared interests or shared affinities of its membership. So instead of being formed based on just geographic location and deriving membership from the geography, it derives membership from shared interests. Those shared interests could be science fiction, Star Trek, bike riding, like motorcycles. It could be any number of different things is where they find their shared interests. A lot of people are arguing that if Freemasonry is going to make it, what we need to focus on are shared interests and shared affinities, which I think is probably there's some truth to that. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Oh, I loved it. And the thing I love about it is there's no bad guys in the movie, right? Some of the best movies I think are the like it happened one night type of movies where it's just one night um, with decent people, dealing with crazy shenanigans and crazy situations. Like Adventures in Babysitting, one of my most favorite, one of my, probably Adventures in Babysitting is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love it. It happened one night. It's just really fun. So, um, Blockers is kind of in that same vein. It's all just contained on one night. It's decent people trying to navigate, a difficult situation for them in different ways. The parents dealing with their kids growing up, and the kids dealing with growing up. I just like it a lot. I have more model trains. That's awesome, Norman. Thank you for being here. Who is your dream guest? Honestly, my dream guest is Johnny Depp because he portrayed, I can't think of the character's name now, but he portrayed the detective in From Hell. And I love that movie. And I'd love to talk to him about what it was like to be in that movie and see those Masonic references and if it gave him any thoughts about Freemasonry. So that's my dream guest. I think it'd be really fun. Not really, whatever you say, but I do enjoy playing, amongst other things, I do enjoy playing Assassin's Creed Part 3. I also really enjoy the Dead Space movies. It wouldn't change the views on Freemasonry because Freemasonry has nothing to do with extraterrestrials or with aliens. It would make me interested and curious if maybe the aliens would want to join Freemasonry. I think that'd be really fascinating. Um, but it would not change my views on Freemasonry at all. Oh, chubby. We're going to keep hanging out. We're going to wait to see who joins. Once again, please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I would truly, truly appreciate it. And thank you all for being here. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, let me know. I hope you've been enjoying my streams thus far. We've had a lot of great ones. It's been a lot of fun doing this kind of marathon streaming session. I mean, again, I don't really believe in aliens, but if I were to, I mean, I'm open to being wrong about it. How has producing this podcast helped me apply the working tools to my own daily life? I think it certainly helped me. I wouldn't even say the work. I mean, so keep in mind there, the working tools that we have in emulation ritual are different than the working tools, Courtney, you have in Texas. They're similar but different. I think the most important general lesson, though, and this has to do with a chisel, is the value of perseverance, right? The willingness to keep working. It's been 5 years of doing this. Sometimes the growth has been quick, sometimes the growth has been slow, but I've kept on trying my best to grow. And that's something I'm really grateful for. And so, I think it's reminding me of the value of perseverance and that great things take time. And you're not going to have a straight path from, to success. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort, it's going to take work. You might succeed sometimes and you might fail other times, but that's okay. Don't really think about Freemason. Well, Freeman is different than Freemason, but I assume you have Freemason. Um, well, H.L. Sab, have you ever thought about Freemasonry in any sense? And if so, what were your general thoughts? If you haven't, let me know if you have any questions. I'll do my best to answer them for you. I think it's case dependent. So um, I'm not one who's ever done marijuana or had a drink for that matter. But I think for some people it can be helpful as a stress reliever. I think for some people it can be helpful as a type of pain management. It just depends. I don't think it should be legal, but I do think it should be regulated. So I don't think it should be illegal, but I do think it should be regulated. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. I enjoy sharing things. Like I said, the thing I enjoyed sharing most today was probably the list of Masonic libraries and ideas about how we can create bonds with our libraries within Freemasonry. I think that'd be very helpful. Although I also enjoy talking about the new Starfleet, Star Trek themed lodge out of San Francisco. Um, Well, I mean, I don't think it could do that because Freemasonry is decentralized. So even if, like, let's say Freemason grew so big in, I don't know, Sweden, they wanted to take over Sweden, that wouldn't apply to Freemasonry in Ontario. We're a decentralized organization, right? I would hope that Freemasons in Ontario would say, well, we're not going to visit Sweden because Freemasons shouldn't be trying to stage any coups. But that's a different thing. It wouldn't affect my Masonic experience. There is no centralized governing body for Freemasonry, so there is no centralized control mechanisms, right? That's the thing that you need to keep in mind and remember, and everybody needs to keep in mind and remember. Um, by forgetting that, it means that Freemasons end up getting kind of labeled with the actions or labeled with the bad actions of others. I will take it, whatever you say. Most people say I look ugly, so I'll take looking like an angel. I think that's better than what people have been saying I do look like before or so far. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Please take a moment, hit that like button and that subscribe button if you've not done so already. Let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear them. Follow me on my other social media sites as well. I hope you follow me as I was exercising and working up a good sweat. Freemasons should exercise and care for themselves because by doing so, it helps ensure we're able to take care of ourselves, our families, and fulfill our Masonic commitments, as well as our community commitments. It also helps ensure that, as much as possible, we're setting a good example for others, which is what Freemasons should do. We should try to set a good example for the community. Also, I hope you answered my poll questions. I've posted a whole bunch on my channel, so check those out. I'd very much appreciate it. Mate not spoke for a while. Welcome back, Mark. Maybe if you haven't seen me for a while, it could be because you do not have your notifications turned on. So I would consider checking your notifications, make sure they're turned on. That way, whenever I'm streaming, you'll find me. I appreciate that. Yeah, born missing my legs. Please take a moment, hit the like button and the subscribe button, pretty witty, or consider a super chat. Just $2, you'll hear your super chat comment read out text to speech, if you can. So I believe in a supreme being. I'm not a Christian, if you're asking in that sense. Every Freemason will have different beliefs about their religion. Some may be Christian, some will be Jewish, Hindu, Sikh, but there's no two Masons. You don't have to believe in a single religion to be a Freemason. I did see the movie Get Out. I enjoyed it. Not one of my favorites, but I enjoyed it. I really thought it was a lot of really cool, really fun. Yes, I have no legs. I was born missing my legs, so I never had any, which is okay. I think when you're born without them, you kind of grow up. You learn how to adapt very early on. You don't really feel like you've lost anything, if that makes any sense. Sel, I appreciate that, but you should love the people around you, not the people on YouTube. But I still appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. Please take a moment, hit the like button and the subscribe button. I hope so. And I love having Masons on here. I also hope I connect digitally Masons with non-Masons, people who may have questions about being a Freemason and what it means to be one. Whoa, Sel, now you're getting weird. You need to calm down a bit. You're going to find yourself in a timeout. You should definitely not only love me. That is not how it works. I try. I mean, I think Freemasonry has helped me have a strong mind in some contexts. Certainly, in the context of temperance, patience, it's helped with me with those things quite a bit. As a friend is good, but keep in mind, you don't know me. I'm on YouTube. Again, this is why we need things like Freemasonry and civic groups. You don't become, I appreciate my audience. I'm grateful for them. But ultimately, try to make friends with people around you. Join a group, join a club, go out, touch grass, as they say. You don't want to treat people on YouTube as your friends in the same way the people around you are. Because ultimately, um, YouTube it can be a very good approximation of friendship, but it's not the same as in-person friendship. He is trying with love. However, I do think it's important to say that because I do think we're running into a real problem in society where a lot of people are forming parasocial relationships with people on YouTube. Um, Please, as always, take a moment, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well. Let me know how you're doing. Anything you want to talk about when it comes to Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear it. We're going to give it a bit more time. We're going to wait to see who joins. Thank you, Sel. I appreciate that very much. I don't. When I was growing up, I had leg prosthetics, but I preferred the wheelchair. I found it a little bit quicker, easier to get around. So I preferred to use my leg prosthetics as opposed to a wheelchair. Sorry, I prefer to use my wheelchair as opposed to leg prosthetics. So I haven't used prosthetic legs in probably 30 years at this point. It's been a long time, that's for sure. I don't know what that is, Matrix Animation. Servant, what is going on? Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well also. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, let me know. Anything you guys want to talk about? And let's give a big shout out to the Windsor Spitfires as they move on to the finals, the Western finals. Um, I am familiar with the double slit experiment. It was the experiment that proved that light is both a wave and particle, or the dual nature of light. Um, What is the Masonic view on the meaning of life? I mean, Masons themselves, each Mason will have his own view on the meaning of life, right? Freemasonry is not a cult, meaning there is no single doctrine, governing doctrine with it. Rather, every Freemason has to determine for himself what he views it. To me, it's to build something that exists after you've passed away for the betterment of the community. I think that's my view on the meaning of life, and that's what Freemasonry has taught me. Others will have different views on it, and that's okay too. Um, we do believe in gravity and we do believe in privacy. But I mean, I think Freemasonry can give you ethical lessons on how to live better in this world, how to be a better man, a better father, a better neighbor, a better friend. What the meaning of that is, though, I think that each individual has to decide for themselves, for himself, or herself. I don't think it's the type of thing that, um, you can be told. Maybe through religious beliefs, which is a separate thing from Freemasonry, you might get some clues. That's possible. All Freemasons are not robots. At least I don't think so. I'm not a robot. At least, again, I don't think I am. If I was, I guess maybe I've been programmed in such a way I don't realize it, like the Cylons from Battlestar Galactica. If you know, you know. That is true as well. It shows that observation changes the nature of an experiment. I love the double slit experiment. I used to be really into physics and science. I think as Freemasons, we should care about those things. I think it's really important. I'm just sharing the stream with somebody. There we go. All right, as always, please take a moment, hit like, hit subscribe. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, let me know. He did, and I'm a member of that lodge. I'm a member of Tranquility Lodge and proud of it. I think it's awesome. I'm grateful to be part of that lodge, so. Um, it's possible, I believe. You have to be a master mason first. You have to have at least your third degree. But I wouldn't know for sure because I don't know enough about you're Montana, right? MMT. I don't know. It would be up to the specific constitution in your jurisdiction. Every jurisdiction has different constitutional requirements about Grand Lodge officers, but I don't see why not. We have in Ontario something called the Wilson Award, which is for members of great service who never sat in the East, who never were worshipful masters. California. Okay, I don't know what the rules are in California. You'd have to check with the Constitution, but I believe so. I don't necessarily see why not, but I can't say for sure. I would believe, though, almost certainly you would need to be a master mason at the very least. For some reason, it's not working. I'm trying to do something here. That's strange. Oh well. Well, Sherlock Holmes, I mean, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the author of the Sherlock Holmes stories, was a Freemason. We know that for sure. In fact, he was really good friends with Harry Houdini, but then had a falling out with him, unfortunately. And through that falling out with him, they got into bad blood and remained for a long time, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, no, he did. He was a Freemason. I think Sherlock Holmes, the fictional character, was at least in universe a Freemason as well, if I recall correctly. But I would need to double check. Batman was a Freemason, the world's greatest detective. At least according to the comic books, he was. I have never been to Mackinac Island. No worries. But yeah, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was a Freemason for sure. Um, which is a cool little piece of Masonic trivia. We're just going to keep hanging out. Wait to see you joins. Please take a moment, hit that like button and the subscribe button. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to hear them. Also, hope you enjoyed all of my videos today. I've done a whole bunch of them. They've all been really fun. I've loved doing them all. But they've been it's always a busy day when you do all these streams in the course of one day, that's for sure. If I recall correctly, I think Watson was also a Freemason. I don't know what those are, Bears. Do you hit the like and subscribe button? That's the better question. And I hope the answer is yes. Not yet seeing what your answer is first. Well, I don't know what a WUESTIOJS is, so I can't really answer your question. Very sorry to disappoint. Never heard of that before. It's TIO. Am I going to get some weird virus if I type this in to my computer? No idea what that is. Oh, do I take questions? I think is what you meant, but you just spelt it wrong. Or, autocorrect or whatever it is. Yes, I take questions. Question away. What questions do you got? I'll do my best to answer them. I can't make any promises. I don't know everything, but I like to think I know a fair bit about Freemasonry. So go ahead. What are your questions about Freemasonry? I'll do my best to answer them. We're just going to wait for some questions from bears. Let me know. By the way, just on CNN, the ceasefire with Iran has been extended. We don't know for how long. I think they said extended indefinitely, which I guess is a good thing. I'd rather have just not a ceasefire, but a peace, right? I disclosed peace, but if people aren't shooting at each other, that's a good thing, obviously. Bears, no idea. That has nothing to do with Freemasonry. So I cannot help you with that at all. You are on your own. No idea, Patrick Starr. Never been to one of those parties. Would not want to go. As always, hope everybody's having an excellent day. Please take a moment, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to hear it. I hope you're all having an excellent, excellent day. Intentional growth. I like that. I like the phrase intentional. I think that's really important, right? One of the biggest mistakes I think we make in Freemasonry is this attitude of growth will just happen. Growth needs to be intentional. We need to actually care about growth and focus on it and not simply hope it will take place. And we can't have intentional growth or growth of any sort by relying upon, for lack of a better term, a retreat into legalism. Closing lodges down if they're struggling is not going to bring us more membership. It's only going to take the lodges that are left and force them to struggle harder. No, not really, Thomas. I'm not interested in mysticism in Masonry. I'm not really interested in mysticism in life as a general rule. I don't think it's helpful. Well, unfortunately, we don't even have peace. We just have a ceasefire that I guess will last forever. Like, that's my concern, is I have no idea how long this peace is supposed to last or what it's supposed to be. And that's kind of the struggle that I'm having with it at the moment. Right, and that's my fear as well, because it's the uncertainty causes problems, right? It's uncertainty that leads to high gas prices and then low gas prices and high gas prices again. Uncertainty allows for all sorts of, unfortunately, stock market manipulation, poly market manipulation. It's a scary thing to see what's happening. So Mormons are a religion. Freemasonry is a civic institution. They occupy different spaces, but the leader of the founder of the Mormons was himself a Freemason. That is true. Zach, welcome. Thank you for being here. Freemasonry is not a religion, but there are many Christian Freemasons who would absolutely agree with you and say the exact same things as they are welcome to. But Freemasonry itself is not a religion. How do you become a Freemason? Asks Gas Fan. If you are a fan of gasoline, you must be struggling right now as it's getting so expensive. The old question, or the old answer to be one, ask one. What you need to do is find a Masonic lodge in your area, express your interest in joining. That means you take the first step. There's an application process. They'll get to know you, they'll talk to you, they'll ask you questions. But yeah, you start with the first, you ask the question and you make the first approach. So find a Masonic lodge in your area. You can send them an email, you can write them a letter, you can go knock on their door, but they might not be there, or might be too busy to answer you. But you can do all that type of stuff. No, I like Corner has the show. I don't know what that means, Gas Fan. Eric Bobby, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well also. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. I don't drink, so I don't know. I can't say. I've seen different beers at different parties and events, even some Masonic functions. Have no idea if there's any type called dark label. Uh, I was never one for drinking myself, so I'm way out of my element on that. That's for sure. I hope you're doing well, though. Please take a moment, hit the like and subscribe button. I would truly, truly appreciate it. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, let me know. Positive, negative, or neutral. I didn't know there was such a thing as like a Canadian beer can. What makes them different than an American beer can or any other beer can? I agree. It's a definitely a bridge to civic common good. I also think it's a bridge to civil common good. I think it's a bridge to both. I do support free trade, but that's my personal opinion. I've always been a fan of free trade. Masons have different views on it, that's for sure. Um, King Charles is not a Freemason. His father was a Freemason, but he is not. Actually, the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of England hold on just one second, the HRH Duke of Kent, who's been Grand Master in the Grand Lodge of England since 1967, making him the longest serving Grand Master in the organization's history, which is a cool little side note. Well, en route, the nice thing to do in that case is hit the subscribe button and the like button. We're getting closer to 4,000. We're still kind of stuck, but we are getting closer to 4,000. We made it over 3,900. I'm 97 away from 4,000, which would be incredible. And I would be grateful. 200, welcome. Thank you for being here. Please hit like and subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, let me know. I've never been a protectionist guy, right? I've never believed in protectionism. I think if you exist in today's world, you have, or you should have the right to be able to provide your products and services to as many different customers as possible, regardless of where they live and regardless of where you live. So that's my humble opinion on that. Um, but I know protectionism, a lot of people do have this, support of it. Not me, though. Any Freemasons? Yes, there are. There are a lot of Freemasons in Russia. In fact, a friend of mine went to Russia a few years ago for a Masonic Lodge meeting out there, which is really, really cool. I would love to get back, get to Russia and visit lodges. I think it'd be incredible. Yes, I got a big nose. Please hit like and subscribe. Um, Freemason Russia has a really fascinating history. It was outlawed during the Bolshevik, during the Soviet era, right? Which meant because it was outlawed during the Soviet era, it's very old and very new, which is true for a lot of Eastern European countries like Ukraine as well. Freemasonry made its way to Russia in, I think, 1786. I could be getting that date completely wrong, but around then, anyways, it made its way into Russia. It was there until the Bolshevik Revolution in 1918, then came back into Russia in 1995. So, I mean, I know I got a big nose. I've grown to accept it. Please hit like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And let me know how your day is going. Positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear it. And I hope you're having a great day. I hope you enjoyed checking out some of my content if you're new to the stream. That's the question, Courtney. That's the question I've asked many times, and I think it's important. When I'm talking about relevance and why relevance is so important, the way you define relevance, the way I define relevance is through that question. If the lodge ceased to exist tomorrow, would people care? Would people notice? My biggest concern is in a lot of cases, the answer to that would be no, which I think is very scary. A scary place for Freemasonry to be, a scary place for the craft to be. So, I know I got crazy teeth. I've grown to accept it. We're just hanging out waiting to see who joins, kind of ending off our very fun, very exciting, very awesome, very enjoyable content marathon. Gregory, I do have an online merch store. I have my Patreon. If you go, Gregory, to, let me see if I can jump on the stream here, patreon.com/square and compass. Signing up for different levels will get you different merchandise or different items, including at the $50 mark, you'll get this very awesome, very beautiful scale model. Oops. Of the Windsor Masonic Temple. The background's kind of messing it up, but there's pictures of it. We have postcards, we have correspondence, we have a lot of different stuff. Patreon.com/square and compass. We even have some bookmarks as well. I share my experiences and I share knowledge. There are some things more kid, I think, I don't share. It's like the family recipe. I'll share the results of it, but not the recipe itself. So there you go. And please take a moment, hit the like and subscribe button. I hope you're doing well. I mean, yeah, it's a very important question to ask. If we are not relevant to, our lives, if we are not relevant within Freemasonry to our communities, we're not going to last long. So that is something we really need to keep in mind. So, Morkid, what kind of knowledge are you looking for? I mean, as a general rule, I'll always kind of say I think wars in general are bad things. Um, Having said that, I do also think, like, call it whatever you want, drug use is incredibly harmful, right? Drug use hurts people. And drug use also hurts the community at large. Every time someone falls victim to drug addiction, they are not simply harming themselves, but they are taking their talents and abilities out of the community that may need it. So I think any efforts to curtail drug use, either at the supply level or the demand level, is valuable. I don't like calling it a war though, because I think that sets the wrong tone, and it treats, unfortunately, everybody as though there are villains that need to be defeated, whether you are cartels moving drugs or whether you are somebody living on the streets using drugs to get by. And they're different things, they're different people, they need to be considered in different ways. Um, so it's one of those things, right? It's the old expression, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. If you call something a war, everything and everybody looks like a combatant, which is not how it should be, um, at least in my humble opinion. Oh, I mean, Freemasons are not a paramilitary group, so the cartel, obviously, but I would think that Freemasons, by providing comfort and support and brotherhood, could and would encourage members to avoid using drugs. So in that sense, we would defeat the cartels in that we provide people positive outlets to deal with challenges and issues of the day, as opposed to isolation, which then leads to drug addiction. One of my favorite movies, Requiem for a Dream, which I consider to be a horror movie, one of the things I love about that movie so much is it emphasizes that addiction of all sorts is usually a result of feeling isolated or alone, more so than feeling, more so than anything else. We're not a bank, so no. I mean, Freemasons may support members through what's called benevolence, where if a Mason is struggling, we'll give him some assistance, but that's not the same thing as a loan. Usually, benevolence is not paid back, although some brethren may choose to if they can. Um, I don't know, Courtney. That's the tough question because no two Masons have the same reason for being excited. Ultimately, we simply need to provide a relevant experience somehow. What that looks like, I don't necessarily know. Thank you for that CF3208. I appreciate it. I like to think I look like Mark Wahlberg because he's a very handsome fella. So if you think I look like Mark Wahlberg, I appreciate it very much. And I hope you'll take a moment to please hit the like button and the subscribe button. Thank you all for being here. I hope you're having an excellent day. I do not. I mean, I think we as Freemasons should apply for grants if possible. Many governments provide grants, and for our buildings to maintain them, I think that's an awesome thing. But Freemasonry shouldn't, I mean, it's a civic institution, not a civil institution. But again, that doesn't mean we don't take advantage of government programs and services, right? Like, for example, I wish we would see more Freemasons, lobbying government for things like better transit services and bus stops in front of their buildings, updated infrastructure surrounding things like roads, sidewalks, things of that nature, right? I wish we saw more of that type of stuff than we do. Um, I think it'd be really wonderful. So that is something I would love to see a lot more of than we do. Right? I do. I talk about the organization publicly all the time. Here I am talking about the organization. In fact, sometimes I will even criticize it, believe it or not. So, no, Freemasons do very often talk about their organization. In fact, there's a ton of Masonic podcasts online right now. So I don't know where you got that from, old Greg, but you are incorrect. As always, please take a moment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I've been a member for just about 20 years. A member of 5 Masonic lodges, which is crazy to think it's been that long, by the way. Time absolutely flies. Tempus fugit, as they say. Yeah, but a lot of Masonic lodges are doing those things. Um, right? A lot of Masonic lodges are doing those things, and unfortunately, they are not getting the people showing up again. 33rd degree, that's always the question. No, I am an 18th degree Scottish Rite Mason and 3rd degree Master Mason. Also, Worshipful Master. Why does everybody always ask about the 33rd degree? It shows a lack of understanding of the infrastructure of what Freemasonry is and how Freemasonry actually operates. It just shows when you spent way too much time watching conspiracy videos online. We're going to give it a bit more time. We're going to wait to see who joins. As always, please take a moment, hit that like button and subscribe button. Let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear them. And old Greg, why do you ask with the 33rd degree? Because once again, what is this weird obsession that everybody online seems to have with the 33rd degree? I find it very strange. We're going to give it a bit more time. I'm going to just keep hanging out, wait to see who joins, wait to see what they want to talk about. So staying in touch with members is incredibly important, Courtney. You are absolutely right. What I would say, though, not to counter that, but to add on to that, is the members also need to stay in touch with their lodge. It can't all be on the back of the secretary or the master. These Masons, they're adults. They have responsibilities as well to ensure that they are keeping in touch with the membership. It can't, or they're keeping in touch with the lodge, right? And also, many Masons will move and forget to update their address, or forget to update their email. It's up to everybody. Everybody has to play their part. Everybody has to work hard. Everybody has to do what they can to make things a success as much as possible. It's not a single, person's issue. Yeah, again, I don't disagree, Courtney. I would love to see a dedicated phone team that is responsible for contacting Masons who are not, getting in touch with the lodge. But I also think the Masons who aren't keeping in touch need to be responsible for maintaining contact as well. It has to go both ways. It just has to. Too much work is falling onto single or a few officers, and it's burning them out. And it's unfortunate that it's burning them out, but it is. Does Axis please hit like and subscribe? The number 27 does not have any significance to me. I don't know why it would. trying to think in a Masonic context if I can place the number 27. Welcome, Jason. Thank you for being here. As always, I hope you're doing well. Let me know if and when you get your items. If you don't get them in about a week, I'm going to try to resend and get them sent with a tracking code because it's very unfortunate as this stuff keeps happening. Um, we keep, the postage has been interesting as of late, put it that way. Oh, nice. You got the postcard with the stuff, with the items, with the coins. But I'm glad you got it. Thank you so much for letting me know. And I hope you like the postcard. It's really cool. Hmm. Okay, well, I'm glad you got that. Um, when'd you get that? Hopefully, you get the other things shortly. Um, I'm not outside. I've got a background. That's the Canadian flag. They refitted it today. So, but I'm glad you got something. That's awesome. And I hope you enjoy the postcard. It is a beautiful, beautiful building. One of my favorite places in the world. My writing is terrible, right? My writing is absolutely terrible. I've grown to accept it. People can never read it. So, you know, I mean, I don't know I don't even know how to use a rosary. I'm not Catholic, right? I'm not Christian. So I feel like a religious item is best sent to somebody who will have more appreciation for it from a religious standpoint. I mean, I would appreciate it as a kind gesture, but I'm not praying the rosary, for example. So, I mean, no, because we have Muslim, Hindu, Sikh, Jewish, Christian, of all sorts, indigenous, First Nations. There is no prerequisite religion to be a Freemason, and I've known Catholic Freemasons who are very tolerant of other people and their religious beliefs. So I don't think so. That is true. That is true. I mean, it's about a relationship, right? Relevance equals relationship. Freemasonry needs to remember that. Um, I never had legs, JD. I was born without my legs. Whoa, Protestants are good, as are Catholics. None of that Catholicism. We're not going to have some weird fight between the two groups here. Um, but I think it's one of those things when you're not born with legs, you never really feel like you've lost anything, right? That's a really cool thing to keep in mind. Um, I don't do that type of masonry, Duff man, so I can't help you with that at all. That is true. Knights of Columbus are Catholic. Freemasons are not a religious order of any sort. Um, thank you, Courtney. Can you? I don't think you can. I think Protestant is a representation of Christianity, right? I could be mistaken. Um, I mean, I've never heard of any Protestants protesting at any church, and you shouldn't do that for the record. I would never want to protest at anybody's church. I think that's crazy. Well, nobody should say anybody is bad, so let's not be doing that on the stream. How's about that? How about building a set of stairs? Can't do that either. I'm not a stonemason. I'm a speculative mason, not operative. But please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe button. I would truly, truly appreciate it. Um, I don't know what the R and W soda brand is. Do you mean A and W? Because we have that. We have A and W root beer. I never heard of R and W. I don't know what that means. My favorite soda pop is just Coca-Cola. Although having said that, I love and adore ginger beer, which is a soda pop I first had in England and love it. Um, Whatever you say, I mean, a lot of people believed the Earth was at the center of the universe, not just the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church did threaten some people for claiming it was at the center of the universe, but or claiming that the Earth was not the center. But a lot of people did that historically as well. It's that idea was not unique to the Catholic Church. I don't want to be a reviler of anybody's religious beliefs, but try to be respectful of them all, because everybody's religious beliefs are worthy of. You don't have to believe it, but you should try to be respectful of it. Um, I mean, I would be sad if they made any worship of any religious figure illegal. We should not be telling people whom they do and do not worship. Um, um, Lately fascinates me is connection between the psychopath and AI lack of empathy. There are two types of empathy. I mean, JD, what would you say is the connection between the two? I find that interesting. I never thought of AI in terms of psychopathy, but that's an interesting idea. I think some people can develop psychopathy if they spend too much time thinking or connecting with AI, because it can send them into a type of coma, not a coma, it's a type of psychotic break. Um, Duffman, once again, speculative, not operative. You might find yourself getting banned soon, or at least put you in a timeout for a little bit. We'll have you come back later. Welcome if you're just joining us. Please take a moment, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear them. At this point, apparently he is. So I'm going to, it's getting kind of warm. It was cooler a few little while ago. Now it's gotten warm. I'm taking off my awesome Snuggie. Check out that awesome Canadian flag. My awesome and comfortable Snuggie cloak. Very nice gift from a friend of mine, but it's getting warm. And I like to wear these when I do these late night streams because they're so comfortable, but you know. But psychopathy can be developed over time, right? I mean, there's a difference between psychopath and psychopathy, just for the record. As I disappear and reappear, that's got to be weird for people. I don't think it's necessarily right. Psychopathy can be developed over time. Not secularism precisely. I wouldn't use that term, but tolerance might be the better term. Tolerance for different religious beliefs of different individuals, whether they be of whatever faith. It's not secularism per se, right? It's more tolerance for different beliefs and not to judge anybody's religious beliefs, which is a type of secularism, I suppose. Um, you could argue, anyways. I've never worn, actually, I should say that in some of my travels, I have worn robes. They're made out of, I don't know what type, but they're usually pretty comfortable, in fairness. I actually had to wear a robe in South America because I did not bring a suit and tie with me, and they were having a Masonic Lodge meeting. And so a they had a I forget what I was trying to say. They had a business meeting happening. You're supposed to wear a suit and tie to the business meeting. And so it was expected, since I didn't have a suit and tie on, that I would put on a robe to cover up my t-shirt. I think it was this t-shirt. Well, I would say they can believe they have the right to do so, but they shouldn't do so, right? Sometimes you have to believe that you can do something, but choose not to. Like, I believe I have the right of freedom of speech to say mean things to people, but that doesn't mean I'm going to do it as a general rule. For whatever it's worth. So, Bud, I don't sell Masonic merchandise. I sell square and I not even sell. I have square and compass items. If you want to check those out, what you need to do is it worked. What you need to do is go to my Patreon, Bud Morgan, patreon.com/square and compass, and sign up there. That's patreon.com/square and compass. We have different items, including postcards at the most basic level. We have some bookmarks, a lot of different things. So you should not be wearing, but I can't wear flip flops to the lodge. I have no legs. But no, you should not wear flip flops in the lodge. Some lodges, though, if they have no dress code, I suppose I don't see why not. Um, Nothing. I would never sell my apron. Absolutely not. When you say Mecca, what do you mean by that? Whatever you say. Oh, I mean, I think different religions can go to Mecca. I don't think it's exclusively one single religion. I could be mistaken. One of my favorite memories is I flew into Dubai and I was staying at a hotel overnight, and I looked up on the ceiling and they had a arrow, and I realized the arrow was pointing to Dubai, or sorry, to Mecca. And it was kind of this reminder of like, oh, I'm not in Kansas anymore. It was a really cool moment of I'm in a new place. I've been very lucky. I have traveled all over the world. I've been grateful. Freemasonry has allowed me to travel a lot. So those are some pretty cool spots, Jason. I mean, nothing. I haven't been to Cancun or the Bahamas. I'd love to go. Would you say you preferred the Cancun or Bahamas? And did you see any Masonic buildings while you were there? Hey, Canada in a train was probably pretty beautiful. So, on a completely unrelated note to Freemasonry, they are coming out with Practical Magic 2. I'm a big fan of Practical Magic, the original, so I'm looking forward to the sequel. I think it's going to be really fun to check out. I've taken the train across from Toronto to Winnipeg. It was like a 48-hour train ride or something. It was really fun. I really loved it. I had a blast. None of that makes sense. Catholicism is cool, unless it was an abandoned Masonic building and the bats had taken over the belfry. Um, well, that makes you a stonemason without question. It also means you have a lot of Masonic attributes. To be a Freemason, though, it's simply a designation of membership. Doesn't make you a good or bad person, it just means you're a member of a club. It's kind of like saying I exercise. Does that make me a member of Good Life Fitness? No, you have to actually be a member to be a member, right? But it certainly indicates that you're a good person. You worked very hard and you should be proud of all you've accomplished. Nothing but respect to you and all of your efforts and all of your work. Um, so good for you. I don't know if you mean literally or metaphorically, right? But either way, you should be very proud of the work you put in to building a foundation done in brick and stone. I mean, anytime you build anything, you're out of brick or stone, you're an active stonemason without question. It does sound bigoted because it is bigoted, whatever you say. I've known many Muslims who have absolutely no problem and no issues, quote unquote, integrating with the local cultures. I've been to Dearborn several times. It's an awesome place, it's an awesome city. I'm grateful for all my Muslim friends there, Muslim brethren. I do not study the Kabbalah original cinema video. Please take a moment, original cinema, hit like and subscribe if you could. I'd really appreciate it. It's great to see my channel growing. I made it to over 3,900 subs, almost at 4,000. So maybe I can get there in the next couple of days. And I would be grateful. That is true. Well, there was a time when Christians were persecuted as well as Catholics, and Muslims have been persecuted. Jewish people have been persecuted. It's unfortunate that the story of human history, so much of it seems to revolve around persecution of different groups, which is incredibly sad. But I also believe we do have better angels sometimes, and maybe we can use Freemasonry and other such civic groups to encourage the better angels of ourselves, as opposed to perhaps the more negative sides of it. You kidding? I want chicken wings as well, so send me a super chat so I can order some. So I'm a member of 5 Masonic lodges, but I'm the worshipful master of Border Cities Lodge number 554. Worshipful master is like the leader of the lodge, for lack of a better term. So my responsibility therein is to work with my lodge to try to make sure we are in compliance with the rules of Freemasonry as much as possible. You kidding? I want you to be really careful and get help if you think you need it. And even if you don't think you need it, try to talk to somebody because that can be incredibly dangerous. Using drugs, incredibly addictive and dangerous to you. I've heard of the Know Nothing Party, but I don't know anything about it. I know nothing about the Know Nothing Party. It does, however, sound really familiar to me. So, um, thank you. It's been a lot of work and a lot of dedication and a lot of effort, but we keep pushing forward and doing our best. And I'm proud of all the work that we've done thus far. JD, I mean, I'm in the same boat. I've never met a Muslim I did not like. Some I've been friends with, some I just kind of met in passing, but they've always been good people. So So yeah, I have nothing but respect for anybody of their faith as long as they are dedicated to it and are good people, good neighbors, kind, generous, etc., etc. Well, then they clearly did know nothing because religious persecution is bad. Um, so I guess they were truly the know nothing party. I agree with that, Jason. That's all we can ask for. Please take a moment, if you're not done so yet, to jump in the chat. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, let me know. I will do my best to answer, positive, negative, or neutral. Or sorry, I do my best to answer your questions, whether they are positive, negative, or neutral. I'm a member of 5 Masonic lodges, but worshipful master of Border Cities Lodge number 554, which meets out of Windsor, Ontario. But 5 lodges altogether: Tranquility Lodge, Lodge Holy Land, Windsor, Harmony, and Border Cities. Well, then they definitely knew nothing, whatever you say. They sound like they were living up to their name in credit, or to credit. They sound like they at least named themselves accurately. I don't know if it opened doors for me. I mean, it gave me a different life than it would have had otherwise. Like, it made different friends than it would have had otherwise. Because when I was young, I joined the Variety Club and I joined the Champ program. So, yeah, I mean, I joined different organizations than I would have otherwise. It gave me opportunities, I suppose, but it also gave me challenges. It's like everything else, right? You take the good with the bad. Um, Unfortunately, that's all you can do. Hard question. Did being disabled? I don't think he was being bigoted. I think he was just saying, hello, Axis. I don't know what 27 means, but please hit like and subscribe. Um, what he was saying is the know nothings believed in nativism, and they believed that immigrants who were Catholic would be more loyal to the Pope than their own country and therefore persecuted them. It was a belief that you could not be loyal to both the Pope and your new country of origin or new country of living. I don't think a better community, I think just a different community. It's hard to say better or worse, but definitely a different community without question. What do I think about immigrants? I mean, um, I think the more the merrier. I've always been a believer and still am that, one of the greatest strengths of Canada is it welcomes people of all different backgrounds, ethnicities, kind of like Freemasonry. So I say the more the merrier. Yes, there's challenges with integrating people from different cultures into a community, but I think it's possible. So, and I think it's worth the effort to try. Um, I'm not DEI. It's hard to be DEI on YouTube. Everybody kind of gets the same shot. But if you want to help me out, hit that like button and subscribe button so I don't need DEI. How's about that? Um, and thank you for being here as always. I hope you're having an excellent, excellent day. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, let me know. And thank you for being part of my 24-hour content marathon. I produce content on a few different channels and a few different streams, not just this one, but several others as well. No key, but all people who don't subscribe to my channel are. So subscribe. I mean, I think as a general rule, it's not about loyalty, it's about respect. You should respect the laws of the country in which you live and also respect your religious tenets. And if the two of them conflict, you need to speak to your religious leadership and your local politicians about how best to bridge that split and bridge that divide. Because once those things start to get into conflict with one another, it gets very challenging. Um, so I think you need to be really careful, right? I think you need to be really careful the extent to which you separate. You have to be respectful of the laws of the country in which you live, regardless of your religion. But if a law starts to infringe upon religious freedoms, that becomes a problem. Um, Lloyd's of London rules the world. Viking Lloyd, I don't think that's true. But even if that was true, that has nothing to do with Freemasonry. So, welcome. Thank you for being here once again. Yes, get yourself some sleep, Jason. But I'm glad you got your postcard. Hopefully, the rest of the stuff will be arriving soon. And I appreciate all of your help and support for the channel. All right, whatever you say. We're both going to calm down, or you're both getting yourself in timeout. Sarah Uzuri, thank you for that. There are many Christians who are Masons who would agree with that. Um, but no, I appreciate the support. Best way to support the channel outside of this is leave comments on videos and share it with others. Fod, I'm Muslim, my best friend is Christian. That's very impressive to give somebody blood while you're fasting. I think that normally would be frowned upon because normally you need to, have, eat before you fast or whatever it is. So or eat before you donate blood, I should say. But that's still awesome, nonetheless, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of goes to show the point of what we're talking about. I don't care whether you're Muslim or Jewish or Christian or Hindu, your blood is the same and it can go to help somebody else. It will help them, right? Your biology doesn't care at all about the religion or the ethnicity of the people around you. So, oh, we got some Nazis in the chat now with this 14 words baloney. Somebody could use some masonry in their life to actually understand why that's such a bad thing to say. But I don't think you necessarily will. Um, we got a definite racist in the chat at the moment. We must secure the existence of all people. How's about that? Not our people, not your people, not their people. People. I have no interest in living in a future where one people is supreme and the others are not. I'd rather just see people prosper. That's all I want to see is people prospering. I don't care what skin color you are. I don't care if you're my people or other people, you're people. That's what Freemasonry teaches us, to look beyond narrow limits of civic institutions or ethnicity or race. Those are narrow limits. Look to the broader fact that we are all the sons of Adam, if you will. And if you don't believe in, Christianity, we are all evolved from the same stock, the same place. We all evolved from the same kind of basic set of principles. We must secure a future for all people, period. All children as well as all people. Please take a moment, if you're not done so yet, to hit the like button and the subscribe button. No, I think Catholicism is just trolling, so we'll leave him be. But no, not above all anything, just everybody. How's about that? Uh, Pizza, probably. Although I do like burgers quite a bit, in fairness. I think burgers are really delicious as well. But I'll just go with pizza, though it's a close one. It's It's a really close one. We're going to give it a bit more time. Wait to see who joins. As always, please take a moment. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral? I'd love to hear them. We're going to give it a bit more time. Thank you for being here so far. If you got to get to sleep, I completely understand. The space mission was not a circus show. The space mission was important for humanity. I think it's wonderful to see us returning to the moon. Hopefully, within my lifetime, I think it'd be incredible because we will get to see a future of humanity on the moon, which I would love to see, genuinely. No, that's what the truth is. Sorry, sheep, you are incorrect. Freemasonry, I mean, Freemasonry, again, Tranquility Lodge is really cool. The fact that Buzz Aldrin was a Mason was really cool. But Freemasonry is not, um, Freemasonry is not a is not a civil institution, which NASA is. We don't work for the government. And ultimately, we don't get to decide if we go to space or not. That's governmental decision making. Well, thank you, Fahad. I hope you'll hit the like button if you're not done so, and the subscribe button. Let me know what you think about Freemasonry. I have no idea what's on the dark side of the moon. I've never got to see it, but I assume it's just more moon. But not only did we, and I think it's really, really cool, not only did we send humans to the dark side of the moon, we actually, and it's really, really cool, we actually sent human beings further than at any other point in history out into space, which I think was really cool. Crafty, I mean, Freemasonry does not have its roots in Kabbalah. Freemasonry has its roots in stone Masonic guilds of the Middle Ages. Um, right? There's lots of creators on the moon in general, Crafty Karen. So it's not so much Kabbalah. Thank you for that, Fahad. Other ways to support the channel, follow me on social media. Follow me on Instagram. Leave comments on my videos. Follow me on Patreon. All that stuff helps out big time, believe me. Shang, that was pretty funny. I'm going to grant you that. That was pretty funny. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I would be truly grateful. Have to go, I think is what you're trying to say, Sel. Well, I appreciate you being here. Once again, though, love the people in your life, not the people on YouTube. Well, the channel membership will never know because I never answered that question. Because I've explained why a million times. It's not relevant to being a Freemason. Nor is it relevant to whether I'm a good person or not. Yes, it is late, so get yourself to sleep. But thank you for being here. I do truly appreciate it very much. Thank you to everybody who's been here so far. I truly, truly appreciate it. But yes, get yourself to sleep. Well, there you go. On YouTube is the key term. Hopefully there's people in your life that you see not through a little screen that you love as well. And I also hope, as I mentioned before, that you will consider supporting me on Patreon and my social media channels. That is incredibly helpful. So find me there also if you can. Yes, Mr. Alderson, I guess I have a big head. Do you have any thoughts on Freemasonry? And please hit like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I would truly, truly appreciate it. We're going to give it a bit more time. Wait to see who joins. I hope you're doing well. Fair enough, Mr. Eldson. Let me know if you have any questions about Freemasonry. I'd really appreciate it. And I appreciate the like. That's very kind of you in and of itself. I have no idea what that means. Um, I have no idea what that means, Spooky. That sounds like something from that sounds like something from a movie, I feel like. Sheeptards one. Chat, hit the one in the live if you want to know. All right, you can hit the one all you want. I never answered that question. But please, I do hope you'll hit like and subscribe. I mean, I have nothing but respect for cooks, right? I have nothing but respect for cooks and chefs, especially after watching The Bear. Actually, one of the things I wanted to do an episode on was the connections between Freemasonry and dining, which is a really cool thing, by the way. There's a lot of interesting connections between Freemasonry and dining, which I want to talk about at some point. So believe me, that's on the list of things to discuss. Well, a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of Enlightenment figures were themselves Freemasons. Voltaire was a Freemason. He actually joined and died a month after joining, interestingly enough. But Voltaire was a Freemason. Diderot, I can't pronounce this guy's name. It was like Condorcet, I think. I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly. George Washington, Ben Franklin. Look, both Freemasonry and the Enlightenment shared certain qualities, an emphasis on democracy, that authority could be granted through democratic means, not through religious or through divine means. More a tolerance for different religious beliefs. Like if you look at the Anderson Constitution, his whole argument is look, we can each have our own religious beliefs. Anderson was a Presbyterian minister, but ultimately we need to be tolerant of all religions for Freemasonry to thrive, which was a very kind of Enlightenment idea as well, right? The emphasis on reason and science, geometry, made its way into Freemasonry, especially in the second degree, the idea of education and learning as being vital. So yeah, and then also you look at a lot of the key Enlightenment figures, like Newton was good friends with Anderson, if I recall correctly. So Enlightenment, I've always said there's two great kind of Enlightenment era experiments that still exist in the world. The first is United States of America. The first is United States of America. The second is Freemasonry. And unfortunately, both are struggling quite a bit right now. But maybe they'll come back. I try to keep the faith that we're going to see more Freemasonry and grow. Um, Mr. Eldson, I hope that makes sense. I mean, whether I'm a Zionist or not, I'm a two-stater. I believe in a Jewish state. I believe we should have Israel as a state and a Palestinian state. If that makes me a Zionist, I guess, then so be it. Well, I mean, as a general rule, right, it would be brotherly love, relief, and truth. that is kind of the standard principles that you see across Masonic lodges. There's regularity, there's recognition. That gets a little bit complicated. But you need to be really careful. Freemasonry is a decentralized organization, right? There is no single governing body. So when we're talking about Freemasonry, there's a lot to talk about. There's Prince Hall Masonry, there's AF and AM, there's all the different Grand Lodges, then there's Scottish Rite, York Rite, Shrine. But I would say at the most basic and fundamental level, brotherly love, relief, and truth are kind of the core qualities, if you will, of Freemasonry. And thank you. I hope it was a consistent answer. I try to be consistent. It's not always easy, right? Freemasonry is much more complicated. I guess define secularism. I don't know necessarily how you define it. To me, secularism always just meant non-religious, um, which Freemasonry is not a religion, right? Freemasonry is not a religion, but it's not secular because to me, secular is non-religious in a civil setting. So like a secular government. When you have a non-religious community organization, I think it's best to just view it as a civic tolerant organization. I think secularism is more relevant in when discussing civil institutions, not civic institutions, as a general rule of thumb. Yeah, see, but I don't know if it's defined as separation of church and state slash organization or just separation of church and state. If you don't include the organization, then it's a different thing. Yes, it is me again, and I'd like to be here. Please hit like and subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, let me know. I'll do my best to answer. I can't promise I'll get every answer correct, but I will do my best. I like to think I answer all the questions as best I can. Um, you're going to see a lot of me, Horny Gloria, because I'm on stream all the time, trying to turn my passion for Freemasonry into a profession. So, well, then, maybe if you access the same opinion over and over again after I tell you why it's incorrect, at a certain point that becomes spamming the chat and you will find yourself banned at that point. Well, thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. But also, don't stay up too late. Get yourself to sleep. Like, I know you got to work. I know you got a lot of work to do. I know you got a lot of Masonic things happening. So don't stay up on my account. That's for sure. Your health is more important. Please, like I always say, though, just make sure that you are, um, what did I do? You're taking care of yourself. That's the most important thing. And you are welcome, Courtney. All right, we're going to keep hanging out for a bit longer, but again, we're going to be ending this stream. Usually I start streaming at 1 a.m., but I've been doing a 24-hour, basically, content marathon. I produce content across a variety of different channels, so I'm not necessarily going to be going much past 1 a.m. today, Eastern. They are not, so that must be why I banned you, because they are not. Now, you can believe me or disagree with me, both of which is completely fine, but just know that you are incorrect if you think that they are connected. They are not. I actually went through the Epstein files and searched Freemasonry and talked about what I found. So no, it is not Uh, they are not connected. They are not connected clearly or not clearly. So there you go. Says me, says my research, says my 20 years of being a Freemason, and says all my experiences within Freemasonry. Um, I don't have any crack pipes. If anybody is out there doing crack, get help. It's dangerous. Duffman, I have no idea what you're saying, but welcome. Thank you for being here. I've done a lot as a Freemason. If you want to call me lower level, that's fine. I've been around the world with Freemasonry, from Chicago to the Philippines to Dubai to Brazil, back to Chicago. Doesn't sound too low level to me. There is no upper echelon of Freemasonry. It's decentralized. There is no single governing body of Freemasonry. Well, why don't you give me a super chat and make me wealthy enough, and then I can report back to you the truth about Freemasonry. And we're going to give it a bit more time, wait to see who joins. Thank you, everybody who's joined so far. I truly appreciate it. I am not in the Illuminati. Illuminati doesn't really exist anymore, at least in any meaningful way. It hasn't existed for a few, really 100 years at least. Freemasonry is not the Illuminati. They are different groups and different organizations. Well, Mr. Eldson, you are incorrect. It's not an elite network. Sure, certainly, like if you're a Freemason, you know more people because you know more Freemasons. So you may learn about jobs that are available, things like that. But no Freemason should be hiring anybody who's not qualified. You get the same benefits from being a Freemason in terms of a network as you get joining a football team or joining a pickup soccer team or joining a knitting circle. Yeah, the more people you know, the more people you know, but that doesn't equate automatically with you being that doesn't equate automatically with you being a part of a secret elite circle. Um, they don't really exist in any meaningful way. I'm not saying they don't exist at all. I'm just saying they don't exist in a way that matters. Like they have no relevance. Most of the time, Illuminati is simply some dude on his computer calling people or emailing people claiming to be Illuminati and claiming that, hey, if you join, send me $500, I'll make you a member. It's almost always some type of scam, more so than anything else. Visigoths, they did that, crow's milk. Um, I mean, it was just the barbarians in general, right? Um, Welcome, crow's milk. To everybody watching, welcome. Thank you for being here. Please take a moment to hit like, hit subscribe. I would be truly grateful. Did I see? I don't think I must have missed it, Courtney. Oh, really? That is really cool. I've never seen that before, but good for them. Love to see them showing off Freemasonry. I think that's awesome. Human beings, whatever you say, often feel the need to congregate together. That's just human nature, right? It's just our nature that if you're moving to a new community, new city, new country, you're going to look for people that maybe speak the same language as you, maybe have the same faith as you. That's always been true. But I think the beautiful thing about places like America and Canada is it's possible to do that while still respecting the country in which you live. Like I said, in Dearborn, they are 100% American, as much as they are Muslim, as much as they are immigrants. Many of them are not immigrants. Many of them are born in America, right? The point is, without question, they are 100% American there, just as much as anybody else from anywhere else. So people need to remember that. Aleister Crowley was not an elite Mason. He was almost certainly a clandestine Mason, which, if you know what that means, it means the opposite of of a legitimate elite Mason. I would like that as well. I think that's awesome. So very, very cool. I don't know who that is, Crow's Milk. I agree. I think we need to be talking about it way more often than we do. Well, I mean, America has had, you know, naturalized citizenship for a long time. I, as a general rule, support it. I think everybody can decide for themselves, I suppose. But however it is that you are there, once you're there, like I said, I've been to Dearborn many times. The people are awesome. The people are kind. I think it's a great part of Michigan, as is Detroit, as is a lot of Michigan, as is Alma. There's a lot of really cool people in Michigan, is what I'll say. We're not trying to backpedal out of the Epstein connection because there is no Epstein connection. That's the point. There is no connection between Freemasonry and the Epstein files or Epstein. And again, this is one of those things where you keep saying the same thing over and over again. You don't have to believe me, but repeating yourself does become kind of tiresome after a while. Well, I've been talking for a long time. All right. We're going to give it a bit more time, wait to see who joins, but I've been doing this stream for 24 hours, so it's been a fun one, but it's been a long one. And again, not 24 hours straight. I've been taking breaks, but still, it's been a lot of fun. And I've been posting content not just on this stream, but also on my personal YouTube channel and even on Twitch. I mean, I appreciate that, Courtney. That's very kind of you. If you can, I'm very grateful for that. But obviously, you need to put your finances first. But if you can join the Patreon app, that's great at a paid level. And yeah, check out my Medium. You can follow me on Medium for free as well. So keep that in mind. I mean, usually there's a couple of rules I have. First, if like we get into one of those infinite regresses where I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, you're responding over and over the same way. At a certain point, I will just ban you because it gets tiresome, right? So, for example, I will explain Jeffrey Epstein is not connected to the Masons. If you say yes, he is, right? You can believe that and you can say that once, but then if we go back and forth and you keep saying it, I'll just ban you because at that point we're not getting anywhere. Or if you start accusing people in the chat or talking nonsense to people in the chat, that's usually where the bans come in. No, he didn't. 9505. I'm not a fan of Joe Rogan, but it's not nice to say things like that. He's still around, so keep that in mind. I appreciate the help very much, Courtney. That's incredibly kind of you. You are 14. Well, first of all, if you're under 18, make sure you have your parents' permission to be on stream. Second of all, welcome. Thank you for being here. Let me know if you have any questions about Freemasonry. Much appreciated for helping your brother out. So, Madman, any thoughts on Freemasonry? I'd appreciate it if you have any. I hope anybody watching will hit the like button and the subscribe button if they can. And thank you, Courtney. Indeed. Also, I know it's late for you as well, so get yourself to sleep if you can. I don't want you up too late. I know you got a lot of work. I mean, welcome, Super Dub. Do Freemasons have traditional? I mean, the meals we have in Freemasonry are going to depend upon who the junior warden is and what he's doing, right? So, your meals could be anything from coffee and donuts to like a 5-course meal. It depends on the budget of the lodge and the junior warden. The junior warden is responsible for preparing the lodge meals. Again, if he's really busy and not that skilled, it may just be coffee and donuts. If he's skilled and he has time, he may prepare a full fancy meal. It just depends on the brother and what he's doing. But yeah, we've had many traditional meals over the years. They're usually called festive boards. Um, I mean, Mr. Eldison, I don't think it's been reinforced historically. I think it's been reinforced through conspiracy theories historically, but not through fact. I mean, the Morgan affair, we're not even 100% sure if Morgan was killed by Masons or rather by the people he owed money to, which were several. He was in debtor's prison at the time, right? But even if they did, that is one example, and it's a shame, and the Masons should have been brought to justice. But there are many examples of Freemasons. I've known examples of some historically in modern times who were Freemasons who were found guilty of crimes and went to jail, as they should. I've always said if I were to ever find out any Mason was committing crimes, I would contact the police immediately. Because my oath, in fact, instructs me not to allow any Mason committing crimes, or not to protect any Mason committing crimes, but rather to inform the authorities. And that's been the case since the Regius manuscript of 1390. Well, he owed money to a lot of people, Masons and non-Masons. He was in debtor's prison at the time, right? He escaped. The last he was seen, he was on a boat heading to Canada. The implication is there were Masons on the boat who threw him overboard. But we don't know for sure what happened. Yes, they are called moosins indeed. Never ate a moose, but I know there are many Masons who enjoy hunting. It would not shock me at all if some Masons found their way to eating some moose, and elk and things like that. Just game in general. Would not surprise me one bit. I've heard of that. Actually, maybe I should take that back. Now that you say that, I think I've had moose chili before. Um, or at least some type of like wild chili with a whole bunch of different meats in it, if I recall correctly. I can't remember now. It was in Amherstburg. We're going to give it another, let's say, 5 minutes. Then we'll be ending the stream. It's been a great day, a lot of content, a lot of people checking me out. I truly appreciate it, and I'm grateful. Um, Thank you. It's the Canadian flag down at the Great Flag Project. They just changed it today to the spring, summer, fall flag, which is bigger. In winter, they use a smaller one. And so I wanted to show it off because I also did some content down there. I filmed myself doing some push ups and stuff. It was really, really fun. Um, I really enjoyed it. It's blackout. Like you mean you can't see it? What do you mean by it's blackout? I mean it's black outside right now, that's for sure. It is 1:03 in the morning, so I'll be going to sleep soon. Although I always find I get a few more people watching me at midnight than um it's funny how I get more people watching at 1 a.m. very often than 1 p.m. A lot of night owls. We've got over 3,900 subscribers. We're getting close to 4,000. I'm about 95 away, so I would appreciate it if we could get there the next couple weeks. Just 95 subs to get to 4,000. I hope you had a good night of gaming. I don't know if you were gaming online or just gaming uh, privately because I think you have a couple different streams, right? But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it went well. I hope it was fun. And thank you for being here. Have a good night to you as well. Canada has a lot of its own sitcoms. Consider yourself. Corner Gas, Schitt's Creek. Those are just two of the big ones that I can think of off the top of my head. We are definitely running out of juice on my battery as well. So I may be ending this stream shortly. But I do appreciate everybody who's been here very, very much. Take a moment if you've not done so yet, hit like and subscribe, and let me know any last thoughts on Freemasonry. Positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to hear it. I'll take it. Bill Paxton's a handsome fella. Um, well, I appreciate that. I mean, if you want to support the channel, whatever you say, there's a lot of ways to do so. I've mentioned before, obviously, one of the major ways you can do so is by subscribing here, but you can also leave comments on my videos. You can follow me on Patreon, patreon.com/square and compass. Find me on YouTube, find me on Instagram, other sites, other locations. It would be much, much appreciated. Donna Hutton, thank you for that. Or Donna Hudo, thank you for that. Please hit like and subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it. Like and subscribe, fool. How about that? Then I'll close my mouth. Well, there's never been, I mean, Masonic lodges can organize sporting events. We do it all the time. My Masonic lodge organizes, for example, softball games, which is really, really cool. I think we need to do more events like that. I think it creates a lot more fun and excitement within Freemasonry. Well, almost all of them require a belief in a supreme being, but the term supreme being is so broadly defined. I'm a Freemason. A lot of people consider me an atheist. It's traditional is part of it, but the other reason is to be a Freemason, you take obligations. In the same way, when you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in a court of law, you do so on a Bible. The theory is if you believe in a supreme being, your obligation, which really, whenever you take an obligation, you take it to yourself, not to the lodge. It will touch your conscience more if you have a belief that you're taking this obligation to some type of supreme being, whatever that supreme being may be, whether it be Muslim, Hindu, Jewish, my version of supreme being, or whatever else it might be. So yeah. Awesome, oh Briss. Thank you for being here. Please hit like and subscribe. My grandfather was a Freemason as well. In fact, both of my grandfathers were Freemasons, as is my father currently. It does, because again, the idea of taking the obligation, and tradition. Again, most people would consider me an atheist. My supreme being is the rational nature of the universe as expressed through science and as expressed through geometry. A lot of people would consider that to be a type of atheism. Usually, what I always say is if you are concerned that you don't believe in a supreme being for the purposes of Freemasonry, don't let that stop you from applying to go to the lodge. Just to see, just to see and explain what you believe. Very often you'll find you're able to join. My supreme being is the rational nature of the universe as expressed through geometry. I think atheists can be trusted, but I also think tradition is important within Freemasonry. We're going to give this stream another couple minutes. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Please, as always, take a moment to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We've made it to over 3,900 subs, which means we're on our way to 4,000, which would be incredible. We're going to end this stream shortly. I'll be back on tomorrow. I enjoy talking about National Library Day. I enjoy talking about the Spitfires. I enjoy talking about the Starfleet Lodge in San Francisco. I enjoyed talking about all that stuff. It was incredible. So they could, whatever you say, but I would need to, if I was part of that, I would need to believe that they were genuine in their statement. If I felt that they were trolling or just saying it to say it, I wouldn't be comfortable. But if I believe that genuinely taking obligation to money or a material item would touch their conscience, I would be comfortable with it. I would just need to believe in what they were saying. So I mean, you can call it that. I don't think it's necessarily a loophole. I just think it's a recognition that what touches one's conscience or heart is different for every individual. And it's recognizing the purpose of that requirement and, finding a way to, satisfy that purpose while allowing for members of different beliefs to join. But if somebody did feel strongly about it, they could look at joining, for example, the Grand Orient, which is a liberal order that does not require belief in a supreme being, if I recall correctly. Well, Snake, then you should contact the police. Well, Ivy, I'm not going to make any promises, but do a $20 super chat and maybe we'll see what happens. Do a super chat, do some gifts, Patreon, all that stuff. Believe me, helps out big time and would be truly, truly appreciated. And any last minute thoughts on Freemasonry, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll be ending this stream very shortly. I mean, I don't know if we're at an impasse exactly. You have your views, I have mine. My views are based on being a Freemason for 20 years. So I'd like to think my views should carry some significant weight. All right, guys, thank you all so much for being here. Not just on this stream, but the entire 24-hour stream. I truly, truly appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. I'll be back on tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Have an excellent night. Don't forget, find me on my socials, all that good jazz. I'll talk to y'all soon.